Hi, it's Mindful Monday, and today I was studying the replay of the first session of a class I'm taking with Yvonne de la Flor on future. And one of the questions that she asked was, I have to read it so I'm accurate, what did you do 10 years ago into the future? So first I had to think about it for a couple minutes. And then I thought, 10 years ago, what did I do? 10 years ago, I went to Italy. My very first time traveling to Europe. I was so excited. So my friend Grace and I went to Italy to spend a week in the hills of Tuscany at a 16th century farmhouse called the Hill That Breathes. So for 7 days, every day, all day, we participated in conscious breathing experiences led by our teacher and friend, Dan Brule. Now, for any of you who've ever done conscious connected breathing, one of the forms of that is called rebirthing. And it's different from the transcendental rebirthing that Yvonne de la Flor does. And it is, if you would, a way to re-experience birth trauma and release it. So in all the years that I had done conscious breathing, I had never had one of those experiences. I had had incredible experiences doing conscious breath work, unbelievable, mystical, spiritual ones. I had never had that one. And like I'm sure all of us, I carried within me stories about loneliness, stories about not being loved, stories about not being seen, stories about my parents, just stories. And those stories began to form kind of a narrative in my mind that was part of the fabric of who I was. So I am participating in this breathing in this incredible yurt in the middle of a forest with all open on all sides. And we're breathing and breathing and breathing and breathing. And all of a sudden, I experienced a rebirthing that was activated through breath. And it didn't last very long, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But in those 4 or 5 minutes, I not only got to feel what my infant self felt. In those 4 or 5 minutes, I saw the world through my infant eyes. And yet, that experience of seeing and feeling from the infant self was supported and in part processed by my mind and my heart. And the gift from that experience was that not only could I feel this incredible longing, it was like now I knew where it was born. Now I could feel where it was born. I could see where it was born. And in that moment, as if it was a small child, my adult self could hold it and comfort it and say to it, I've got you. Now I know that many of us spend a lot of money and a lot of time going to workshops, healing trauma, telling stories about everything that doesn't work. But I am here to tell you that no matter how powerful those feelings are, no matter how long they've been with you, It is possible, literally with one breath, to transform them. So as I think about Yvonne's question of what did I do 10 years ago into the future, that was it. That moment 10 years ago, that choice 10 years ago became like a line of dominoes. It became the first one. And then everything else began to come into place. So I guess what I'd love to share with you is to be the witness and to tell you it is possible. To support and transform and continue to grow. That the story, the truth of who you were in the past does not have to be the truth of who you are with your next breath. It can change. Sometimes it changes by mental work. You study and you do all this stuff. Sometimes it changes because you have the support and encouragement of a coach. Sometimes it changes because you have another big life experience. And it can also change in a quiet moment with one breath. Have a glorious Monday and hold in your heart. Let it seep into every pore. Life can only get better. All you have to do is say yes.